Hello, Dharma Circles. Swati here, the embodied Dharma coach, and I have been bringing you daily steps and reminders to support you in regulating your nervous system as well as clarifying your soul purpose and your dharmic offerings. And this is step 5 today. We're going to finish off these 6 steps this week, and a reminder to join us in the Soul Circle mini course as we go through these 6 steps in more depth. I'll share more about what we do in the Soul Circle mini course at the end of this video. Today is a suggestion to get closer to your goals, your dreams, and your desires. And so we're going to start there. Pull out that pen and paper once again, and I invite you to write down your big goal for this year. What is the goal or the desire that you have for your business, your offerings, sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world, and really offering from your soul purpose? What is that goal this year? Write it down, put it on paper, and next step, what is the financial goal? I meet a lot of women who are hesitant to be clear on the numbers, and I'm going to invite you to get curious about that in step 5 today. But go ahead and write down that number, and if you aren't sure what it is, let's name that. So write down your financial goal for this month, for the coming 6 months, and what is your hope or your intention? What are you moving towards in terms of your annual financial goal as well? So write that down. And let's pause here. I'm going to invite you now to notice what's happening in your body. When you look at this big goal, this big desire for your life, for your path, for your purpose and your offerings, when you look at the financial goal and the financial desire for your life, for your path, for your offerings, notice what happens in your body. Notice what's happening right now as you sit here in this chair. So a reminder that whether we are looking at your business goals, sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world, offering from your soul, and asking for money and being paid for your gifts and your wisdom, all of this is the expression of you asking for your needs to be met. That's really what's happening here. These are a mirror, a reminder of you have needs and you need this need to be met, or a series of needs to be met. Your business and your money represents your needs. And when we're talking about a dharmic business and a dharmic offering, this is the offering from your soul, from really the wisdom of your heart and your gifts and your wisdom that are even passed throughout your lineage. So these are deep soul needs, in fact. There are also some material needs. Money supports you in getting all kinds of needs met in this world, for your body, for your business, maybe for your family as well. So when we talk about soul contentment and nourishment in your soul, this is another way of saying getting your needs met and feeling really nourished and supported. And every time we are impacted by trauma and we experience disconnection in the body, when we get dysregulated in the body, this is a reminder that we're not able to get our needs met. And it's often a result of not getting needs met, certain needs met. Safety needs, nourishment needs, pleasure needs, empowerment needs, heart needs, love needs, visibility needs, self-expression needs, spiritual and vision, dharmic needs, soul needs. So nervous system dysregulation reminds us that there is trauma impacting our ability to get our needs met on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level. And it's one of the reasons why sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world can be so triggering to the nervous system. I really want to invite you to make these connections, that you can have the dreams and the visions and the desires and the goals. You can even be taking consistent action steps, sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world. But if the nervous system is dysregulated in this process, if taking action steps or becoming more visible or asking for a larger amount of money, or even being self-expressed as an empowered, wise woman in this world, if the nervous system gets dysregulated as a result of this, it's going to be hard. It's going to feel challenging to receive and get your needs met. So there's a direct correlation between your nervous system, your trauma responses, and your success on your dharmic path, sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world, and making money, doing what you love and loving what you do, continuing to expand and grow your vision. And I want to invite you to consider, when you write down your desires and your goals, the action steps that need to be taken, the financial goals, this coming back to the body. What do you notice happening in your body? Fight response. These are the individuals. This is the trauma response that you learned that keeps you pushing, forcing. You will reach the goals at all costs. And usually this is at the cost of the body and relationships, and pushing past the very clear messages from your body that are saying, stop, slow down, pause, listen. This is not safe. So it's a very strong drive to succeed. It can show up in a variety of ways, but it often presents aggressively. Flight response. These are the people that are always doing something, and it might look like you're taking action steps, you're always busy and you're doing, but you're still not getting the results that you want, or your results are minimal. Flight people are running away. And this is, remember, a nervous system response as a result to trauma that you've experienced in your life and your body. Flight is a running away from the challenge, from the conflict, from that which feels unsafe in your body and your nervous system. Flight can even look like overdoing your tools, or retreating into the self instead of showing up visibly. So flight people will often, go retreat inside and be spinning, doing on a very internal level, but you're not really going anywhere. The shift isn't happening outside of the body, and it can be both. It can look like you're moving a lot externally, or you're moving internally a lot. Now, freeze is a response in the nervous system when there is a disconnection it often shows up as numbing or avoiding. There's often confusion or a sense of disempowerment that comes with the freeze response. And this is a disassociation or even a checking out of the body. So, freeze is a big reminder to come back to sensation in the body and really orient towards sensations in the body. This can help on so many levels to repattern the freeze response. And freeze is often expressed by not doing anything. So you might have all these ideas or visions or desires, or you know the action steps that you need to take, but there's something blocking you from even moving forward. I see this even a lot with people who don't ask for help. They don't reach out for support or guidance. They stay in isolation. They work alone, and they have a belief that they are not safe with others or being supported by others. So there's a lot of isolation and loneliness that can come with the freeze response. And the final nervous system dysregulation response is the fawn response. Fawn response is going to show up as overgiving, leaky boundaries. It can look like overdoing, but it's usually about pleasing someone. Remember that the fawn response is very much about fear of conflict. And so trying to appease situations or relationships, experiences, preventing any sort of conflict or challenge that is either real or perceived, a perceived threat. So fawn response, the problem with fawn response, there's a variety of challenges that come with it. One of the main issues is that these people will work for someone else's dream or give up their own dreams to work for someone else's dream. And so it becomes this cycle of lack of fulfillment, not getting your needs met, not showing up for yourself fully, not showing up for your dreams fully, and getting stuck in these patterns of really avoiding your own visions and the purpose of your own soul. And it becomes very sad and a sense of hopelessness at times. So fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses are going to show up along the way. We all have a default pattern that our nervous system defaults to, and this is the autonomic nervous system. This is all completely unconscious, and it's one of the reasons why I want to support you in bringing conscious awareness to it. The nervous system does this default pattern of dysregulation without your conscious awareness. And a reminder that your body is so wise. It will know and will always know way more than your mind could ever imagine. And it's why showing up for your body responses, your physical body sensations, and getting curious about what's happening in your body is so vital for not only a healthy and vibrant, vital body, but also for a healthy, vibrant, and joyful offering business, spiritual and soul offering to the world. Like, there is absolutely no way that you can be successful, and I mean sustainably successful, without tending to the wisdom of your body. And it's why we see people, they seem to have so much worldly success, but the body can't support it or sustain it. And so when we're working against our body and our body wisdom, the results that we have may not work, they may not sustain themselves. There might also be big ups and downs, big booms and busts. And it's because the nervous system always knows what it can safely handle and what literally feels safe within you. And this is on an unconscious level. So we don't even know it's happening. And it's why bringing body into your business, particularly your soul business, and I'll tell you why, your soul business is going to bring up even more trauma responses than a regular old business, because we are talking about the deep nourishment of your soul. The stakes are so much higher when we are sharing our soul gifts in this world rather than just any old gift. I don't really care, I'm not that invested in sharing this offering in the world. But when you're sharing your soul gifts and your dharmic offering in this world, it is even more vulnerable, and it's going to bring up your triggers even more intensely. And it's why this is the way that I teach, because we can't separate the two. And if we want sustainable success, spiritually and materially, in body and business, we have to honor both. So notice, what is your default mode? We all cycle through all of these 4 dysregulation patterns, but we also have a default. Type in the comments below, what is your default dysregulation? How is that showing up in your body? How is that impacting your business? And how does this show up when you look at your big goals and those financial goals? And I want to support you in repatterning as you move forward. So here is a very simple technique, so simple, that I want to support you and encourage you to use as you look at your to-do list, as you acknowledge all the things that need to be done in your business, with your offerings, in your life. 2 things. The first thing is one thing at a time. It's one of the most helpful reminders from Ayurveda that I have received in my lifetime. One thing at a time. So multitasking is actually not helpful for your nervous system, especially if you have trauma of any kind or complex trauma. Eat and just eat. Sit and just sit. When you're on the toilet, just do the toilet. When you are doing your yoga, or when you're journaling, or when you're cooking, whatever the task is, when you're working on an action step with your business, one thing at a time, one pointed focus. So rather than distracting with the phone or reading something else or doing something else, stay focused on one task at a time. This is so important with your clients as well. And people can feel when you're focused and present or if you're distracted. And it's the same with your own body and your own nervous system intelligence. So one thing at a time, one step at a time. Don't multitask. And don't divide the mind. Okay? And in that process, this invitation today is probably the most simple, but it's also the most overlooked, and that is our breath. So let's take several deep breaths. I'm going to actually walk you through 5 breaths, and inhaling and exhaling, extending your exhale and lingering in that release before going to the next inhale. So let's do that together. This is a simple, powerful repatterning tool for your nervous system. You can do it anywhere, anytime, and it also supports that one pointed focus that I just shared with you. So inhaling Exhale either through the mouth or through the nose and extending that exhale. At the depth of the breath, inhale and exhale, extending that release. One more. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Pranayama practices are also powerful ancient resources for repatterning and regulating the nervous system. There are a variety of pranayama practices out there. My suggestion in order to regulate the nervous system is something like Nadhi Shodhana, which is inhaling and exhaling with equal measures, in through the left, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, exhale through the left, and holding the nose while you do that. Okay, so that is my simple reminder for you today. Most of these, and I hope that throughout the past few days, you've realized that these techniques that I'm sharing with you to help you regulate your nervous system are things you're already doing, that you possibly do on a daily basis. So give yourself some gentleness, some compassion, some kindness, some acceptance in this process of regulating your nervous system. It's a long journey, it's a lifelong process of regulation, and we continue to support the nervous system in this healing journey. It's not something that repatterns overnight. So honor where you're already showing up, where you're already self-regulating, and where you know how to support your body in regulation. These are the things that I teach you in my Soul Circle mini course, because we cannot separate body and business. And the nervous system and the challenges that show up along the way when you become more visible, self-expressed, when you go for your dreams and your desires, when you want a business that truly nourishes your body and your soul, we have to bring the nervous system wisdom. Our trauma, our grief work, all of it informs the journey. And it's also how we share, who we share with, and the results that we get. If you want to know more, if you are ready for more support, more holding, more guidance, please join my Soul Circle mini course. I give you 6 simple steps to support you in clarifying what your soul purpose is, so you have absolute clarity with the purpose of your soul. And then I give you the foundation for creating an effective business and a model of business that supports you and your nervous system, your body. And of course, that's unique to your body. Everyone's business structure and foundation is going to look different, but I do give you the foundational tools and steps to support you in creating your own dharmic business and an offering that really nourishes you on a body level, on a soul level. 6 simple steps. We are adding more and more resources to the mini course. So this initial pricing is going to go away because I keep adding wisdom and steps and tools and resources for you, and the value will continue to increase. So if you are ready for this kind of support, this level of support, please jump in now. I want to give you the opportunity to have these tools and these resources at only $97. And that price is actually ending on Wednesday. So jump in now and make sure you make use of these tools and get the support that you need. Come to our live classes every month. Meet me for a welcome session and clarify what your path and your focus is moving forward, and use these 6 steps that support you in clarity for your soul and repatterning your nervous system. Please join me. I look forward to meeting you there. And tomorrow I will come into the Dharma Circle and share your 6th and final step in this series to support you in soul clarity and nervous system regulation. And we're going to be talking about marketing and visibility. So bring what you learned today into step 6, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye.